Hi everybody! So today I want to come to you with some exercises, or I don't like to use the word exercise so much because it implies a lot of work, but it's really movement to get you functionally oriented so you command control over your body. In order for you to do that, you sort of have to bring the fundamental core stability back. I call that the powerhouse for all movements resides right here. But the thing with lupus is it not only sucks the motivation out of you, but we have aches and pains to deal with, and we've got fatigue issues, and we've got the irritability, and all those things are kind of doing that because of the underlying inflammation and sometimes medication or some other illnesses like fibromyalgia or MS or Sjogren's syndrome or connective tissue disorders, what have you. So we can look to all those problems and say, you know what, heck with it, I don't feel like moving. But the important thing I've found is that despite how you feel, if you create the discipline to show up right here and just start moving, we're going to be moving for a short while, teaching you simple exercises so you can be sitting. And I'm doing this for those of you who's voiced your opinions or recommendations or requests to me about not being able to sit on the floor, right? And so the more our bodies get limited, the more we get used to it, and that sort of becomes the norm. I fought really hard for the last 19 years to not succumb to lupus because I saw precisely the dangers of that. So at some point, I had to build resilience to bring myself out of that. And ever since I did, I didn't look back. But it does take focus. It does take discipline. And I plan to come in front of you day after day to educate you, to teach you on how to follow along so you can regain sense of control in your body, and that's going to overflow into your life as well. So you're going to be seated nice and tall on a chair. So if you can't get down on the floor, this is something you can do sitting on a sofa or at a desk, whatever you do. So first, keep your feet flat and then sitting up nice and tall. Let's roll your shoulders back, up and back, up and back. Just prime our body to kind of get it ready for some movement. And then when you're there, place your hands on top of your thighs and take a deep breath in through your nose. Close your eyes and exhale. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And if you ran out of your breath, that means you've sort of went kaput. So I want you to do more of a relaxation breath, just really tuning in to how you're breathing. And notice how your rib cage kind of expands out, and to take the breath into both of your lungs. And then when you exhale, calming breath, filtering out the air through your nostrils and exhaling until you can't go anymore. And just notice physiologically what happens. Kind of tuning into that body is a great way for you to relearn those muscles that have turned off. Because as lupus patients, we sit a lot or we lie down a lot. We don't like to move because of pain. So a lot of the times that motor control has just gone south. So we're trying to reconnect with that. So always come back before you start to follow me with this exercise. Always come back and just tune into that breath and see if you can activate your core. It's going to seem a little mysterious right now, like what are you talking about, activate? But just trust me, over time you'll kind of sense this activation. And then I'm going to give you more exercises to kind of tune your attention to that. So with that, I want you to sit up nice and tall. By that I mean I want your spine to be perpendicular to the seat of your chair. So I want you to be nice and tall, not hunched back like this, right? So sit up nice and tall. From there, I want you to lift your heels up as high as possible and down. Again, lift those heels up and down. Again, lift up and down. I used to teach a lot of senior patients some functional movement exercises to enhance their functional mobility. And I think, as does the aging process, it does the same for us lupus patients. Things degenerate and degenerate a lot quicker for us if we don't use them. And it's really true. You lose what you don't use. And that's particularly true for our muscles. So it just takes a little bit of vigilance. So please show up and keep doing this. Heels up and down. You should feel a little bit of tightness back there. Even if you're having a bad day with pain, just these exercises will allow you to flush out your toxins. And a little bit of smart movements with me like this is going to do wonders for you. Trust me, on every level. So we're now picking up the toes up, keeping the heels down, just feeling these muscles in front of your shin to kind of really tighten and loosen. But control putting them down, and see if you can control its way up. And really controlling both aspects of movement in the ankles will help you to have better balance and proprioception. Because I don't know if I've shared with you my falling story, but I fall frequently, especially when I'm walking, and sometimes my legs will just go kaput. So I don't like to feel that way. So on my free time, every chance that I get, I am on my yoga mat trying to get as strong as possible. If I can do it, you can do the same. Okay? So from there, I want you to sit up nice and tall. Place the palms of your hands next to your bum, sitting up nice and tall. So as you press through the palms of your hands, you're going to notice your spine sort of like standing up nice and tall. Feel the crown of your head sort of floating on your spine. With that, I want you to lift your left knee up and down, and then right knee up and down. While you're at it, keep your toes up. That's 2. And on bad days, really honestly, you really feel this in your leg muscles. I know, because I used to teach this all the time. And I'm feeling it today. 4. And 5. You sort of have to take lupus head on and just fight it with all your might. Just because one day you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I beat it. So that's a good thing. So what I want you to do now is lift the right knee, straighten that knee, and then bend that back and bring it down. Boy, you're going to feel this in your quads. Lift your knee up, straighten that knee, bend it again, and place it down. Lift up and straighten. Do what you can. If you can't lift it up this high, that's fine. There's always a starting place. So keep moving. And any movement, I promise you, is going to only help you to feel better. And oftentimes, I think lupus patients, we have to be really careful of what exercise we partake in, because it can cause catabolic activity in our muscles. That means it's deteriorating. We're not building anything, and you can be bedridden for days. Believe me, I've been there. So with that, just shake it out, shake your legs out. And then I'm going to stretch those quad muscles out. So I like to sit on the left side of my chair and then see if I can pull my left hip back like this and try to straighten that left hip. Do you see what I'm doing here? And then you're just going to hinge forward and just feel this deep stretch. Do what you can. You can keep the back knee bent to kind of ease into that stretch, because that's going to feel really, really tight. Oftentimes there again, because we're sitting a lot, our hip flexors build a lot of tension. And so this is great for those of you who have low back pains, any kind of hip issues, any kind of muscular aches. Great for fibromyalgic patients, and any days where you wake up with sort of that pain. And this kind of movement and exercise, honestly, it really, really flushes out the toxins in your body. So it really helps you. I'm going on to the opposite side. So you notice how I'm coming to the edge of one side of the chair, and I keep my one knee, or that left knee there, placed up. In my case right now, it's my right leg is going back, and I'm keeping a slight bend in my right knee. You might have to bend it a lot more, and you're gonna realize, whoa, boy, that's a lot of stretch. And just enjoy that stretch for a good 15 seconds, just understanding that that kind of a stretch is a good thing. So don't overdo it. because you can kind of flare things up that way too. So we're going to come back onto the chair and then place your left ankle on top of the right knee. Sit up nice and tall. And you know, for most of you, this might be enough. Make sure you're not hunched down like this, but pull up and out of what I call the pelvic bowl, right? So pull up like that, and that's going to be enough stretch. And if that's not enough stretch, before you hinge forward, I want you to try to gently press this left knee down. You're going to feel a gentle pull on the left side. Make sure neither side of the sit bone is riding up in any way. They're bearing even amount of weight on both sides, and your spine is perpendicular to the seat. And you're keeping the spine right at the center of your pelvic bowl, okay? Holding that for another 15 seconds and gently release. And do this side. Bring your right ankle on top of the left knee. Sit up nice and tall. Again, pull up and out of your pelvic bowl, and that's going to create this nice stretch in the right hip. And gently press the right knee down south toward the floor. And then it helps to keep your toes up. I didn't say that on the other side, but keep it up towards your shin. And then hinge forward, and that's going to create this nice little stretch on the right hip. And taking a deep breath in and exhale. Do that for about 15 seconds and gently lower. And another thing is, I want to stretch out the back side of the knee, right? So we stretched out the front side, and now we're going to do the back side. We stretched out the sides of our hips. So we're going to straighten the right knee and then hinge forward until you feel this stretch on the right hamstrings. Most of you, this is going to be enough. But for me, or some of you that might be a little bit loose, like as in the hamstrings are very flexible, then you might want to stand up, hold on to something, and then hinge forward from there, okay? Notice my back, I'm not hunched over like this, I'm pulling up and out of my pelvic bowl, kind of extending my tailbone away from the heel of my right foot that's in front of me. And then I'm going to gently, after 15 seconds there again, sit back down. And then do the other side. Straighten the left heel away from the sit bone of my left sit bone and hinge forward from my pelvis, kind of hinging forward and breathing. And just to kind of demonstrate on this side as well, you can stand up gently and just be here like this. Taking a deep breath in and out for about 15 seconds. Boy, whatever, this is going to be really, really great. Making sure that my seat is still there so I don't fall on my bum. Sit up nice and tall. This next one is, I want you to sit like a man and then walk your hands down very, very gently, keeping your bum on the chair. And then see if you can relax your head toward the floor, releasing the low back. Taking a deep breath in and exhale. Taking a deep breath in and exhale for about 15 seconds. And when you come up, I want you to come up very gently because some of you may feel a little bit dizzy. And so if you're dizzy, we don't want to create any kind of vertigo or anything. So make sure you come up very gently. And then from there, to finish off, we're going to raise our arms up overhead, interlace our hands, and pull the palms of our hands up toward the ceiling. Do whatever you can. We're just stretching the sides of our body to kind of create this awareness and openness and expansion to kind of detoxify and use our muscles and wake them up a little bit. And pull them down. Interlace them behind you like this, and then pull them back, pulling the front side of the body opening. Taking a deep breath in and exhale. Right arm up and bend, open up to the right side and back. Left side, raise your left arm up, pull and bend and back. This is going to be really good to kind of give you a little bit of energy. You're going to realize after you do this, you're going to have sort of an endorphin rush, which you didn't expect, but exercise does energize you. No matter how bad you feel before the exercise, after you follow through with the sequence, I promise, you're gonna feel tons better. So I want you to comment below if you've watched all this and let me know that you've enjoyed it. That gives me a lot of feedback to make sure I create more exercises like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.